For the first time in a long while, Tinu woke up with a quiet sense of resolve. It was not excitement, nor fear, but something deeper. A calm certainty that whispered, "You are allowed to take a step." She sat on the edge of her bed, Bible resting on her lap, her fingers tracing familiar verses as morning light filtered through the curtains. She had prayed through many seasons, through disappointment, silence, and waiting. Now her prayers were changing. They were no longer only about endurance, but about direction. "Lord," she murmured softly, "if this is of you, let it grow in your light." Later that afternoon, Lola noticed the difference. They were in the kitchen, preparing a simple meal, when Lola glanced at her sister and smiled. "You look lighter today," she said. "Like someone who slept well." Tinu hesitated, then nodded. "I think I'm ready to stop just watching from a distance," she admitted. "Not rushing, just being intentional." Lola set down the spoon and turned fully to her. "That's growth," she said warmly. "What are you thinking?" "There's a community outreach at church this weekend. The children's food drive and hospital visit. Olusegun mentioned he would be volunteering." Tinu paused, her voice steady. "I want to join too. Not to impress him, just to serve. And to see clearly." Lola's eyes softened. "That's a beautiful place to start," she said. "Service reveals the heart. I'll be praying." That Saturday morning, the church compound buzzed with quiet purpose. Volunteers moved about with boxes, lists, and gentle laughter. Tinu arrived early, dressed simply, her heart prayerful. Olusegun was already there. When he saw her, surprise flickered across his face, followed by genuine joy. "Tinu," he said, smiling. "I didn't know you were volunteering." She returned the smile, calm and sincere. "I thought it was time I joined." They worked side by side, packing food, organizing supplies, listening to instructions. There was no pressure, no awkwardness, just ease. Conversation flowed naturally. Faith, family, moments of laughter, and thoughtful silences that felt safe rather than strained. At the hospital, Daniel knelt to speak with a young boy, his voice gentle and patient. Tinu watched quietly, something warm settling in her chest. This is who he is when no one is watching, she thought. Later, as they walked back toward the bus, Daniel spoke carefully. "I appreciate today," he said. "Serving alongside you, it felt right." Tinu nodded. "I felt the same. I'm learning to move slowly." But honestly, he respected that. She could see it in his eyes. "That's all I want too," he replied. Truth and patience. That evening, Tinu returned home tired but peaceful. Lola was waiting, seated on the sofa with her Bible. "So?" Lola asked gently. Tinu sat beside her, exhaling. "I took a step," she said. "Not a leap, just a step." Lola smiled and squeezed her hand. "And how does your heart feel?" "At peace," Tinu answered. "Not rushed, not afraid." Lola closed her eyes briefly, offering a silent prayer of thanks. "Then whatever comes next," she said. "You're walking in the light." And for the first time in years, Tinu believed that fully. Several months into their marriage, Tinu and Olusegun faced a subtle but delicate challenge. During a small family gathering at their home, Mrs. Jupe Aidwell made a few critical remarks about the way certain household arrangements were being handled. Her tone was polite but edged with disapproval, a reminder that her coldness and skepticism had not entirely disappeared. Tinu felt a twinge of anxiety. She glanced at Olusegun, unsure of how he would respond. Would he react defensively? Would tension rise? Segan, as always, remained calm. He greeted Mrs. Aidwell with a warm smile. "Good evening, Ma. Thank you for coming. Your advice is always welcome and I appreciate your concern." He listened attentively, nodding respectfully as she spoke, without interrupting or showing any frustration. His composure was steady, grounded in humility and great decorum. After she finished, Olusegun spoke gently. "Thank you, ma'am. We will consider your obsession carefully and make adjustments where appropriate. We are grateful for your guidance." Mrs. Aidwale blinked in surprise. His calm, respectful response was unexpected. No argument, no irritation, only humility and patience. Tinu's mother, observing the interaction, smiled approvingly. "See, Tinu? That is how you honor God and manage even the difficult hearts around you," she whispered. The rest of the gathering continued peacefully. Olusegun engaged every family member kindly and inclusively, ensuring that everyone, from Bayo and Lola to Mr. Saviour's relatives, felt heard and respected. Mrs. Aidwale, though still reserved, did not make any further sharp comments, her hostility softened by Olusegun's quiet integrity. Later that evening, Tinu reflected on what had happened. She whispered a prayer of gratitude. "Lord, thank you for Olusegun's heart and wisdom. Thank you for showing me that patience, humility, and faith can overcome tension and soften even the hardest hearts." Olusegun squeezed her hand gently. "Tinu, every challenge is an opportunity to honor God. Hearts soften in His timing, and our role is to act in love and integrity." In the days that followed, Mrs. Dupe Aidwale continued to maintain a polite distance, but her demeanor was noticeably less harsh. Segun's Christ-like patience and consistent respect had quietly influenced her, showing that true humility and integrity cannot be ignored. Tinu felt at peace, confident that her marriage was protected by God's guidance and strengthened by Segun's godly character. Their home remained a place of love, prayer, and spiritual growth, and even subtle challenges were met with grace and wisdom. The couple's early married life continued, marked by prayerful decision-making, Christ-centered counseling, and careful navigation of family dynamics. Olusegun's patient example became a silent testimony to all around him, proving that a God-centered approach, humility, and respect can bring peace and soften even the most challenging hearts.